I pressed Sharael for the meaning of First Parthis. I kept questioning her about bonds, titles, all of it, until I finally asked what weighed heaviest, how old she was. She didn't want to answer, but I forced it, and when she said 600 years, something in me broke. I ran without thinking, half blind through the streets, colliding with a girl carrying a rapier. I tried to gather myself, but even through the fog, I couldn't stop noticing details. Her weapon, the way she carried herself. We parted on polite terms, and I found myself drawn to the temple, where Dagar warned me away. I tried to make sense of what I'd learned, but I couldn't face it. I felt anxious, uneasy, full of restless energy, and I knew exactly how to spend it. I took it out on Bob Kindle's men in a brutal brawl. I came away sated, coin in hand, but the shame weighed heavier than both. I had run from her when it mattered, and by the time I returned, I knew I could not do that again.
Hello, I'm Mike Carmel. This is the Dark Razor Chronicles Streamcast, Season 5, Episode 7, The Shadow in the Alley. In alleys, contracts breathe, and small choices echo like threats. Keep your hand steady and your oath closer. Let's begin.
Cullen, Avon. I swing the purse Bob Kindle gave me around my finger as I walk. I fought bare-handed until one man, who had escaped my initial assault, came at me with a sword. I had no choice. The brawl was an effective release for the pent-up anger and strength. I took a few nicks and scratches as they grabbed whatever they could to get the upper hand. A chair over the back was a common barroom tactic, but the worst I got today was hit with a broken chair leg. I began to feel uneasy, my eyes darting from person to person, evaluating each. Are there other oath taken out here? Other agents seeking the razor? Others who might want to harm me? Cair had said all the oath taken, implying more than those present earlier. I know there had been 5 families in my time, but now, after the contingency, for some reason I keep thinking about the girl I bumped into. There was something about her, something intriguing. Perhaps it was the sense that we had skills in common. Her sword, a rapier, suggested that. But she was also strong. The impact between us would have sent most women sprawling, but she maintained her balance with ease. I wander, winding my way toward Marta's boarding house. As I walk, I keep my eyes on the passers-by. Then I see her, the girl I bumped into. She's leaning against the wall of a tavern across the street, arms crossed, her right leg casually crossed over the other, her boot resting on its toe. I watch her, and she watches me. I nod. She cants her head, a slow smile spreading across her face as she nods back. She recognizes me. I mean to speak with her, to cross the street, but 3 young men stumble out of the tavern, laughing and shoving one another. She seems to know them. She winks at me, stands up straight, and starts talking with the 3. They all laugh, then start walking in the direction I came from. I know now it's not meant to be. Not today. I continue my way, drawing closer to the boarding house with every step. Through a gap between buildings, the temple comes into view. I stop and look through the shadowed portal at the icon atop the temple. Even from this distance, it sends shivers down my spine.
Mister, you all right?
I glance down to see a young boy staring up at me. I gasp, not because of the boy, but because it's dusk.
Mister, you've been standing here for hours. I've been watching. You all right?
Yes, I reply. But the truth is, I'm not sure.
I think that old bugger nicked your purse, you know.
What? My hand goes to my chest, but the purses are both still there. My hand drops to my pocket where the few silver and copper coins I had left after paying Marta should be. They're gone.
I'd have stopped him, mister. I called out, but you weren't hearing me, and I was across the street over there.
He points to a storefront. Thanks, lad. Thanks for trying to help. It's more than most would do. I pull out the purse hanging from my neck, open it, and drop a pinch of loose coins into the boy's open hand. A handful of silver pennies fall into his palm.
Geez, thanks, mister. Thanks.
Kid, I say, exhaustion settling over me like a heavy cloak. It will always pay to be honest. Remember that. The boy whirls to leave. Kid, I call, grabbing his arm before he can run off. Remember that, even if it doesn't seem like it at the time. It always pays.
All right, mister,
The boy says, nodding gratefully before running off. I glance back to the temple and realize it's already alight with torchlight. My thoughts come to a stop as I hear something from the alley beside me. Is someone there? I ask. A passerby chuckles.
Don't be a fool, man.
I pay him no mind. I know you're there, I say. Who are you? No one answers. Is someone there? Someone deep in the shadows? I peer into the pitch darkness, and yes, I can see someone. A curvy silhouette, just a hint. And then a woman's voice lets out a breathy laugh.
You can see me?
A note of surprise in her voice. The voice feels disembodied because the silhouette doesn't move as she speaks. Yes, I reply. The silhouette moves closer, but remains cloaked in darkness. It's like a penned outline or a soap bubble. I can see right through it, except for where her edges must be. Who are you? I repeat myself, but I already know, even before the woman replies with soft chuckles.
Come deeper. I wish to speak with you. Come out of the way of prying eyes.
I know it's foolish. I know stepping further into the shadows is asking for trouble. But step in I do, drawing my crossbow and cocking it with a sharp yank. The device clicks as the cocking lever locks into place. I grip it, the stock's weight settling against my wrist. My thumb finds the trigger, the tension firm beneath it, and I aim the weapon just off the side of the apparition beckoning me.
You need not be afraid of me. I am your queen.
Queen?
I am Tonana Silvermoon, High Priestess to Cair Olosis. Do not be afraid of what you are becoming.
You are not my queen, I say, but I keep the rest to myself. How I've been cured, thanks to Dagar and Sharael.
Oh? Come closer.
She beckons. I can't help myself. I don't feel fear exactly, it's more like interest. There's something about this woman that makes me want to get closer. Her eyes materialize from the darkness, shining like an animal caught in lantern light. I step closer still. What is it you want from me? I stop just 2 strides away from her silhouette. Her eyes seem so real, yet the rest of her is nothing more than shadow upon shadow.
You. I want you. Tell me, what is your name?
I hesitate. Would telling her my name do harm? Yes, a name can be spoken, tracked, invoked. Yet I want to tell her. Is she bewitching me? No, it's pride. Pride that makes me want to say, Avon does not mean coward or oath breaker. That Avon stands for honor above all. I am first Parthis, Cullen Avon, oath sworn. Her sultry voice lets out a slow groan of appreciation before breaking into soft chuckles.
A strong name. First, Parthis? Do you know what this title means?
Of course. I wouldn't speak it if I didn't. I am sworn in service to the White Circle, and first commander of their forces.
Oh, how delicious.
she says, and her silhouette claps her hands, slow, mocking.
You certainly know how to impress a girl. Already a general, and here I am, offering you a captaincy.
Please, Tonana, I have no time for games. If you cannot be candid, I will leave.
If it's candor you want, then hear me now, Cullen Avon.
Her voice shifts, playful tones gone.
I am Tonana Silvermoon, High Priestess to Cair Olosis, and you are my minion. One day soon, you will obey me in all things. I will have you, and you will serve as a captain in his army.
Her voice softens.
We are coming, Cullen. He has told me.
Her words anger me. She's nothing more than a bully, like before. I remember our last encounter. She charged me to win the standoff. I decide to use the same tactic. I step forward fast and aggressively. It catches her by surprise. She jerks back, raising her hands as if to fend me off, but I stop short. Her image fades. She must know I'm only trying to scare her because she starts laughing. She tries to speak again, but her words distort and lose meaning as her form vanishes. She was just a projection? Not really here? I scan the alley. No one. The street still has a few people wandering, but as night approaches, the crowds have thinned. I glance toward the temple, but avoid looking directly at the statue atop. Instead, I focus on the tiny red doorway and the figure standing within. I try to ponder what Tonana has said, to sift through the meaning of her words. Surely she revealed something important, but what? They are coming? If it's more than a boast, the oath sworn will have to face whatever happens. My thoughts return to Sharael and Dagar's words. She is much older than that. But I know that's not true. Sharael is young, vibrant, a youth in many ways, eager to experience life. It's as if she has secluded herself her whole life. Why does all of this shock me? How many times have I seen her innocence, her wisdom? It explains her actions. I try to remember her face, her expression when she told me the truth. She was crying, fearing the very reaction I had. I left her the moment she opened up to me. I abandoned her, left her unprotected. Some oath sworn I am. Bragging to Tonana, even eyeing the girl I bumped into on the street. What was I thinking? I quicken my pace, heading back to the boarding house. 2 elfin guards block the front door, standing cross-armed before the threshold. "First Parthas," they say in unison, pounding fists on their chests. They part, allowing me to pass, but I stop in front of them. "Why are you still here?" I ask. One replies.
General Olosis' orders, First Parthas.
And what are those orders?
Sir, I cannot divulge that information.
Yet you honor me.
Yes, First Parthas.
I nod and step through the door, beginning to take off my boots. The candles are lit, casting the gathering room in a golden glow. Cair, Sean, and Marta are sitting around the table, while Dagar is curled up at its center. But no sign of Sharael.
There you are, First Parthas.
Cair says, his eyes judgmental.
It has been a long day wasted. May I inquire as to why?
I want to tell him why and apologize, but it was all foolish emotion. The truth wouldn't go over well, nor would an excuse. Instead, I settle for a hard glare. Cair backs down, though his eyes remain sharp.
We have much to discuss, First Parthas. Perhaps you can persuade Her Magus to join us.
Sit down, General, I command, catching him off guard. Marta hears the tension in my voice.
Well, I'll leave you boys to your conversation. A woman's work is never done,
She says, standing quickly and retreating through the kitchen doorway. Dagar doesn't move from his spot on the table. I glance at Sean. There's something different about him. He looks flushed, happy, too happy. Some of what you said earlier today, I begin. Cair bows his head.
I have already apologized, First Parthis.
His tone tells me he hasn't learned his lesson, or perhaps he reserves respect only for Sharael. Either way, Cair needs to learn. A slow burn has been building in my blood, strength coursing through my limbs, eager for release. The desire to brawl, perhaps not quite sated from today's event, simmers beneath the surface. My voice comes out low, threatening. I lean forward, planting both hands on the table. Cair Olosis, you will watch your tongue from now on, or I will remove it. Whatever Cair sees in my face makes him sit back, his brow furrowed. Now, tell me what you remember of when the razor disappeared 100 years ago. Cair's brow furrows deeper. He looks at Sean, then back at me.
First Parthis,
He says, slowly, his tone more respectful.
why do you want me to speak of what you already know?
Do I need a reason, General? Do you allow your troops to question you so? Or is my title only convenient when it suits you? Cair's eyes darken with anger. Why am I trying to provoke him? Because I want to fight. My muscles tense, ready to react. Before I can slam my hand on the table to demand a response, Cair speaks.
All right, First Parthis. I will tell you what I remember.
He begins his recount.
I was not old enough to be oath-taken, but I remember my father's account. The oath-sworn were contracted to guard the Parthon, the place where the Razor and the goddess Ariel reside.
Goddess? I've never heard of Ariel. I keep silent, filing away my questions.
5 families were sworn to service, a husband and wife in each. 2 oath-sworn took duty every day, and 2 others during the night, always alternating partners. On the night my mother, Cair Olosis, and Agatha Feltlin were on duty, someone broke into the Parthon, killed them both, and took the razor. That same night, the Avens disappeared. The white circle called the oath-sworn into service, but the amulets began to glow faintly, only a fraction of what they should. The pointers did not point, and we could not find the razor. After 20 years, the glow faded, until recently. We never found the razor or the Avens.
Husband and wife teams? I ask.
Yes, when the oath is passed on, only men are required to swear, though women may choose to follow their mates.
Who are the families sworn in the oath?
Feltlin is still alive, but he has been excused. He has no heir who wishes to take his place. For Olosis I serve. Sean represents the Lans, of course. Farside, whom we have had no word, and Avon.
He finishes after a long hesitation. I know Farside no longer honors the oath.
You've had contact with Farside?
Yes. Terence is the remaining heir, and he is a coward. He will not be joining us. What of Feltlin? You said he has been excused? Does he still watch for the calling? Do you think he would join us?
Farthen?
Cair replies.
I don't know, First Parthis. My mother and his wife died that night 100 years ago. He lost his taste for duty, I think. Still, the oath.
Is he still capable of service?
Yes, First Parthis. Last I heard. He would only be about 329, I believe.
And the bond? Does Farthen not fear it?
I don't know, First Parthis. As I've said, he was pardoned for grief by Ariel. His duty was suspended. I've heard nothing of him since.
I see. So it's Larnd, Olosis, and Avon then. I pause, deep in thought. General, what has happened to your command?
Leave of absence. My commission allows for it without dishonor. I will be reinstated once our business here is concluded.
You can just take a leave of absence?
I can.
And what were you and your forces doing in the area?
With all due respect, First Parthis, that is an elfin military matter.
General, I am your superior, despite your objections. I won't push you, but if I remain uninformed when trouble starts.
I understand, First Parthis. And you are correct.
I'm surprised by his agreement.
My superiors won't like me imparting information to you, but I will tell you this. I was dispatched to investigate what we suspect are marauders.
Marauders?
Yes, there have been strange reports of attacks near the city and to the north. It might be more than marauders, a small army perhaps.
My mind jumps back to that first day in this new world. Just over a week ago, Sharael and I were attacked by orcs. They seemed to be fleeing something, but we weren't clear on what. I remember the thunder. Cair says nothing. Is that all you have to report?
Yes, First Parthis. That's all I wish to report.
Wish? He's playing word games. You referred to the Parthon as the place where the Razor and the goddess reside. Tell me about Ariel.
What about her?
Everything. I wish to know what you know, to see if your knowledge is worthy of what I know. I sound snippy, but Cair has a way of rankling me. I hope he tries to hit me. Cair clenches his jaw, his lips thinning. Then, after a long moment, he seems to relax.
Very well, First Parthis. The Razor is a tool the circles focus their power on, but it is the goddess who controls it, who channels all that power, directing it to its use in the Novi Mundi.
And then the Razor was stolen.
Yes, the Razor was stolen.
And the goddess?
That is something only Ariel can explain. Much occurred after that night that no one in the Order of the Oath understands. Suffice to say, the goddess returned in power and force, a dark time for the Church. The Circle's plans were set back 100 years or more. When the amulets dimmed 20 years later, we lost not only the Razor, but our patron as well.
A goddess? You said she returned.
And 40 years ago was the last we had seen of her. When the amulets dimmed, we lost hope.
And you tried to speak with the circles?
Of course. After hearing nothing for so long, we went to Silandria, but the Parthon was empty and no one had any way of finding them.
I try to absorb what's being said. So without the goddess's guidance, the Razor's magic follows the contract?
I suppose, though I'm not clear on the details.
Cair answers. He furrows his brow again.
I understand, First Parthis, why you would want my knowledge, but this seems new to you. Why is that?
I keep my expression flat, asserting my authority. It seems to embolden him, giving him the courage to voice his doubts.
And then you show up. An Avon, a family accused by some of being murderers and thieves, and you have no explanation. Quite frankly, First Parthis, I'm still not convinced you are who you say you are.
And Sharael, I ask, do you believe her?
Of course,
he says, though the lack of conviction in his voice betrays him. To face one's honor in question and not react more passionately, it's suspicious. Perhaps Cair is biding his time, waiting to seize the Razor when the moment comes. The more he speaks, the more I distrust him. I lean forward, determined to pry deeper. Tell me about you and your brother. Cair's surprise is evident. He sits back, glancing at Sean.
What can I tell you? He's not my blood brother, of course. We adopted him when his parents died. He's oath-sworn now, a bit of a fanatic. But as a child, he was irresistible. He and I were inseparable.
I nod. Now, tell me of the birthing disease. Cair smiles, his voice suspicious.
All right, it's called that by the people, but it's part of the Circle's plan, the Novi Mundi. The Circle strategically removed certain beasts of burden.
And certain innovations, like wagons?
Wagons?
Sean asks, confused.
Yes,
Cair replies, his face scrunching as he tries to remember.
Yes, I think I do remember wagons. 4 wheels like 2 carts strapped together. Yes, of course. As the beasts that could draw them died out, so did their use. Most were broken up and turned into two-wheeled carts, I recall, long before you were born, Sean.
Sean looks bewildered, and Cair grins.
Yes, I'm sure the loss of that innovation was deliberate, as are many others I can't recall.
So, the long-lived races, elves, dwarves, may remember these changes if prompted.
Perhaps. But even I wouldn't have remembered wagons without your prompting.
I hardly think the loss of beasts and wagons is a small thing. Cair gives me a small smile.
That's because you're an Avon.
A confirmation I've been waiting for. I stand, but do not let my anger show. Sean stands immediately, and Cair follows. Both bow, and I nod. Before I leave, I say, "My word is my bond. I will not do or say what I do not believe in, Cair Olosis." Without waiting for a reaction, I turn and make my way up to our room. The door is open, and Sharael is lying on the bed, curled on her side, facing the window. I sit in the chair that was placed beside the bed. It wasn't there when I had left. "Sharael," I say softly. She doesn't move or acknowledge me. Her breathing is even. Maybe she's asleep? It was a shock, I continue. More shocking, I think, than even the time leap, the razor, all of it. Nothing has shocked me more than learning you are older than you seem. She turns her head slightly, looking at me over her shoulder. Her eyes are puffy and red, but at least she isn't crying. "Sharael," I say again, offering her my hand. She doesn't take it. She turns away again, and I drop my hand to my side. For what it's worth, I'm sorry I abandoned you. Ran off without hearing you out. And I did it after pushing you to tell me what you weren't ready to share, and I wasn't ready to hear. I'm oath-taken, and what I did is unforgivable. She looks at me, her expression softening. I feared at first that the magic might kill me for it, I continue. But after a short time, I decided the magic knows my heart and grants leniency. She rolls over, reaching out to me. I kneel beside the bed, letting her wrap her arms around me. "Sharael, I'm so sorry for the way I've acted. I won't run off on you again."
Promise me.
I do.
Sharael Maldine. I lie in stunned silence as Corbin's light rains down on me. Cullen sleeps beside me, unaware the god comes. How many times have I beseeched Corbin for guidance, for acknowledgement? Now he comes unbidden. Sleep had just begun to claim me when the first messengers, sparks of light, appeared. I glance at Cullen, fast asleep on his side, his back to me. Then look up into the conduit where Corbin's words will flow, and flow they do.
"You must find your own way,"
Corbin says.
"I have done more than I should for you. You are not mine."
A shiver races through me.
"It is up to you to build on what I have given you. Build your strength and multiply."
His final words come sharp and brutal.
"You are not my daughter."
The emptiness that follows shatters me. Tears spill as the messengers retreat. I turn to my side, facing the door, trying to stifle my sobs. At least Corbin gave me more than I ever expected. That first day, he threatened me with wrath. Yet he helped me find my footing, gave me a follower, a believer, a protector for life. Just not Cullen. I hold on to that thought. It's all I have left. There will be no more signs, no more visions, no more vows renewed. I've been given the building blocks of a new faith. What I do with it is up to me. Cullen came back to me on his own, That counts for something. But there's still so much he doesn't know. He ran after hearing only a fragment of the truth. If I tell him the rest, will he run again? Probably. But if I don't, someone else will tell him. The truth is out of my hands. And Sean, I can feel his faith, strong, unwavering. But one believer won't be enough. I need more. I turn back to Cullen, surprised at how quickly I've recovered from Corbin's absence. It still hurts, but not like Cullen's rejection. That pain cuts deeper. I do think I love him. It's terrifying, how powerful that emotion feels. The room lies in darkness, the moon long set, the city silent. Through the window, I see a faint amber glow from the temple, but its form is hazy from here. I look at Cullen, boldness rising. I slide my hand over his waist, moving in behind him. Pressing close, I feel his warmth, his strong back against me. It makes me tingle, makes me tremble. I want more, to feel love, to feel anything but sorrow. I've had enough of that. Yes, this is what I want. The touch, the smells, the tastes. It's all intoxicating. The dancing, the drinking, the food. I savor those simple pleasures. Even the endless travel, despite the hardships. The walking, the talking, the arguments. The lies, though, I don't cherish those. But without them, everything would be different. I'd be with his father. Or worse, trapped in a future without purpose. Here, in this twisted version of the world I left, I have purpose. A chance at something real, maybe even happiness. I close my eyes, willing myself to sleep. But darkness pulls at me, like sinking into an abyss. Heat smothers me. I struggle, clawing at invisible restraints as I'm dragged deeper. A groan, a soft, familiar sound, pulls me back.
Brawl, 10 points. Chair leg bonus. Cullen walks away sticky and richer. Good lad, keeps the jingles. Solid PR move. I approve and ate the crumbs. That was the Dark Razor Chronicles Streamcast, Season 5, Episode 7, The Shadow in the Alley, where Tonana shows up as a sexy shadow drama queen. Nice trick, bad manners. Cullen cocks the crossbow like a proper idiot hero. Brave enough to be funny. Find links, updates, and more at mikecarmel.ca/streamcast. The rest is in the show notes. Now go, feed me a crumb, tell 2 friends, and ride the goat.